Okay. So can I proceed? Please, somebody should let me know.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Um, Okay, so in today's training, we are going to learn the tools of the trade and then time management and organization. Yesterday, I talked a little about how to manage your time and then how to organize um, clients and everything that you're going to be doing in your business. So today, we are going to talk about time management, organization, and the tools that you are going to be using as a virtual assistant. So there are some tools that are not on my slides, and I'm just going to mention those tools because I believe that you need to know how to use those tools as a virtual assistant. So in today's lesson, like I mentioned, you are going to learn time management, how to be organized as a virtual assistant, and then tools for being a virtual assistant or tools for working as a virtual assistant. So let me hide this, okay? So as a virtual assistant, managing your time and staying organized are very, very important. Yeah, I think two of the most important skills for you to be successful. Because as a virtual assistant, you're not just going to be working with one client, you're going to be working with more than one client. You at any point in time, you can have as many as 5 clients, 6 clients. And apart from what you're going to be doing for those clients, you would have things to do within your own business. So you need to find a way to manage everything so that nothing falls through the cracks. So when you are juggling multiple clients like that, each client is going to have a different deadline, different priorities, and it can become overwhelming if you don't have systems that work, if you don't have tried and true systems that you have put in place to help you remind you of what is important, keep you focused on what you should prioritize at every point in time. So a good example is when you have 2 clients who both need urgent tasks completed by the end of the day. So let's say client A of clients A's project, half of clients B's project, and you disappoint both clients. Best case scenario is that you are going to finish one client, let's say client A's project, and then leave clients B hanging. And that is not good. That just makes you unprofessional. So you need to have a proper plan so that you will not just deliver on time, you will not be stressed, because when you don't have a proper plan, you will not deliver on time, you will be stressed, you miss opportunities because it is easier to upsell clients that you already have. It is easier to get clients that have already started working with you to keep working with you than to get someone to start working with you from scratch. And when you work with a client and you deliver good results, they'll be happy to refer you to other people. So you are going to miss lots of opportunities if you don't make sure that you are professional in your dealings, you are organized, and you maintain timelines. If the client says this is the deadline that we're working with, you have it, and you cannot. There's no excuse like you forgot. It is very unprofessional to say you forgot anything. So if it is not scheduled, it will not be done. So as a virtual assistant, you have to be organized to the T. And most times people come to work with virtual assistants because they are looking for they want to be more productive. They are looking for someone that is more organized than them. So if you are if you are all over the place, you don't even have a system in place, you don't have processes in place, it's going to show. And you are going to lose that clients as well as every other business they would have brought your way in the course of working with you. But if you are able to manage your time and you have good organizational skills, you can handle many demands from different clients effectively with less stress. So you'll be able to know if you should agree to a new job or not. Because sometimes someone can come to you and say, okay, I need this delivered by this deadline. You have to know if it is possible for you to take on that extra project or not. When you look at your the projects that you have at hand, the priority, how important it is, the timeline of that project, you'll be able to know, okay, these are the projects I have, I can actually pull this off. Or you know, if you cannot pull it off, you gain more respect and the trust of your clients when you tell the clients, I cannot get this done by this timeline. But if you give me let's say 1 more day or 2 more days, it's going to work for me. You gain more respect than just taking on the work and then messing everything up. So for time management now, time management refers to your ability to plan and control how you spend the hours in your day to effectively accomplish your goals. So as a virtual assistant, it means allocating the right amount of time to each task so that nothing falls behind or overlaps. So you cannot schedule into the at this time, and at the same time you are sharing on clients is projects, and control how much time you spend. So you might need to do research. You want to look at user generated content on social media, and then you find out that you just go down the rabbit hole, and 2 hours later you are just watching memes, you're just on explore page, you're just reading comments and laughing. You are not disciplined, you're not managing your time very well. So as a virtual assistant, even if you are where the noise is, there are so many distractions on Facebook or on Instagram, on all social media platforms. There's so much distraction there. And the algorithm works hard to get your attention because social media thrives on attention. The more time you spend on the app, the better for the brand. So you have to know how to effectively manage your time. You have to be able to create focus time. From this time to this time, this is what I want to be working on. And then you have a goal that you should accomplish within that time. So if you can measure your productivity later at the end of the day, you should be able to say, okay, this is what I was able to achieve within 2 hours, or this is what I was able to achieve for today. At the end of every day, you should be able to put your hand and say, this is what I was able to achieve today, and not just as the spirit leads. You will have to prioritize, plan, and then execute your goals. Then time management is important for virtual assistants because it helps you stay focused. It helps you avoid distraction. When you know that this place I am going to, there are going to be distractions and I need to focus. I have this window, let's say I have from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to get this done. You will be able to focus. You would have blocked out everything that would have distracted you. And then you'll be able to focus on what you're supposed to do. So that is why it is very, very important for you to know how to manage your time as a virtual assistant. So you stay focused, you avoid distractions, and then you meet all your deadlines without burnout. So if you know that you have something to do, you plan in advance and you work towards it. If you have to put in 1 or 2 hours every day, you put in that time until you eventually get to the finish line, or you eventually complete the project, instead of waiting until the last minute and then you start rushing clients, A project clients, B projects, and all that. So that's why time management is important as a virtual assistant. So for organization involves keeping all your tasks, always know what needs to be done by when and how. So this, and you can see what is already written in bold here, what needs to be done by when and how. So it's about having a system where everything is easy to find and access. It's not when you need to do something or a client asks you for a particular document or information and you just don't know where it is. So apart from being organized in your tasks, you have to be organized when it comes to documents, files, um, basically resources that you need, or deliverables that you need to give clients or that you have collected from clients in the past. So you should be able to produce these things on demand. So making sure that you are organized at all times. You know what you should be working on. You are not just going with the flow, or going as the spirit leads, or going with what you feel like doing at each point in time. You know what needs to be done, when that thing is due, and how you are going to achieve what you are going to achieve. So you need to have this system in place. So today I'm going to, I didn't mention this at the beginning. I'm trying to go through the slides so that I can leave more time for questions and answers, because I don't want to keep you over 9 p.m. like yesterday. So as much as possible, write down any questions you have from, if there was no time to answer your questions yesterday, just write them down, and then I'll make time to answer them at the end of this. So organization is important for virtual assistants because it offers you a structured approach to managing your tasks and documents. So nothing will be missed if you are organized from the beginning, and it will make you reliable and efficient in the eyes of your clients. I cannot emphasize this enough. So there are sometimes that I'll deliver a project to a client, I'll be so thorough, I'll give the client, okay, this is what you need, this is where to find this. And they'll be like, wow, you are so thorough. And that just makes you like the go-to person, because some other virtual assistant or someone that they have worked with in the past might not have been making the extra effort to be organized. But when somebody knows that you are organized, you are able to present things in a way that it just makes life easier for the next person. Then it's makes you, it increases your market value, and it makes you look better or look good in the eyes of your clients as a virtual assistant. So now, yesterday I mentioned some of these some ways that you can manage multiple clients. And today we're going to talk about how to manage multiple clients in more detail. So if you have any questions about managing multiple clients and stuff like that, I think there was one question yesterday about managing multiple clients. Just write them down. You can write them in the chat. I'll check the chats for any question if you're not comfortable putting on your mic and asking the question. So the first thing is that you have to set clear expectations from the start. So when you are going to be working with, when you're working with many clients, you know that you are going to have different deadlines. What might be a priority for clients A might not be a priority for clients B. So you have to set clear expectations from the start. If the client needs something done in 24 hours and that thing cannot be done by you, even if normally it will be able to, somebody can do it in 24 hours. If it cannot be done by you because of the other commitments you have with other clients, then you have to um, let the clients know as soon as possible. You have to let the clients know. So set clear expectations from the start so that nobody feels like their work is put on the back burner. And it's going to help you, if you are able to set clear expectations from the beginning, it's going to help you honor the agreements, or honor the work you do with other clients. So the second thing is that you have to prioritize clients' work by deadlines and urgency. So if something is urgent and there's a short deadline, you know that you have to prioritize that work because it is urgent. You have like a deadline that is, let's say, the end of today or the end of tomorrow. You have to prioritize that work, especially when it is urgent and it is important. You have to prioritize that work. And number three, you have to do regular check-ins and progress updates. So there are sometimes that you and check in with the clients regularly and then update the clients regularly. Even if you don't meet up with the deadline, you're a virtual assistant in Nigeria. Anything can happen. Let's say you had power issues or you had internet issues, you were not able to meet up with the deadline. If you have communicated with the client is seeing the progress that you are making, the client will easily feel at peace because they are kept in the loop. You should not just disappear and then come back after the deadline to say, I could not meet up. Sorry, this is your work. So it does not look good. Nobody is going to like that. So regular check-in and progress updates puts the client's mind at ease. And finally, you have to batch similar tasks together. So if you are going to research, you can decide to do all your research at the same time. If you are going to be creating, let's say, social media graphics, you can decide to say, okay, let me use it the next 2 hours to create all the social media graphics that I'm going to need. So you can batch similar tasks together to just make sure that you are focused on a particular tool or a particular type of task at a particular time. Then now, I want to talk about effective to-do list and prioritization. And this is very, very important. I'm going to tell you how my to-do list, like a to-do list that I write with my hand, I write it on my notepad, how a simple tweak that I made on my to-do list has just like it just makes me much more productive. And maybe you have been making the mistake of not writing your to-do list the right way. I'm going to show you how you can correct this. So now, this is the this matrix now. I'm not sure how to pronounce this word. Yes, Howard matrix. I don't know. I did not attend the creators naming ceremony. So let's just focus on the matrix now. If you you are the replay or you are looking at your screen, pause it and zoom in to see what is. Have the green square that has the in the previous slide. You know that this sequence, if it is not done, so you have to do that task urgently. It is urgent, it is important. Then the next square, when it is important but it is not urgent. So the task does not really have a deadline, or even if it has a deadline, the deadline is way into the future, but it will bring you closer to your long-term goals. Then you should schedule it to do it later. It is important, but it is not urgent. So then you can get someone else to get it done. Assistant. So I have an assistant that's helping me. Virtual assistants have their own virtual assistant. Not be done by you. They don't. The job does not necessarily need you to do it yourself. Then you can delegate it. You can outsource it to someone else. And then finally, if it is not important and it is not urgent, just delete it. Just let it go. Just remove it from your to-do list. So this kind of, if you focus on the tasks that are not important and not urgent, it's going to distract you from what you are actually supposed to be doing. And it does not, and these are usually tasks that they don't add any measurable value to your business or to your client's business. So make sure that at all times you always prioritize the projects that are important and urgent first. That's the first one. When you have finished everything that is important and urgent, then you can now look at things that are important but not urgent. You can start working on those ones small, small. You know that you have a lot of time to eventually complete it before the deadline. Then you can now go to the things that are not important but they are urgent. You can look at those ones. If you don't have the means to outsource those things, then maybe, and you have the time on your hands, you can do them by yourself. But there is no reason why you should spend time doing things that are not important and are not urgent. And then for time blocking. So time blocking is basically just setting time within your schedule to complete a particular thing, to do something. So there is the focus time blocking, and then there's the distracted multitasking. So instead of you to just keep 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 30 minutes here, it is better to just put like 2 hours, 1 hour, 3 hours where you focus and get something done. So that at the end of 2 hours, you can say, okay, I have written this blog post, I have published it on the website, and this is done. You can actually tick something off your to-do list versus just working for 10 minutes here, the next time you do wanna just like that, it's all over the place and it just makes you distracted. And most times you realize that you are working on client A projects for 10 minutes, client B's project for 15 minutes, and you cannot really complete any project when you have like a when you are when your time blocking is the distracted multitasking version. So for your daily tasks, and this is where I want to talk about the simple tweak that I did to my to-do list that has made all the difference for me. So before I talk about that, I just want to talk about the Pomodoro technique. So this is very popular. Anybody that has been looking into time management or productivity, you must have seen it somewhere. So the first thing that you do with this technique is that you select a single task to focus on. They do not say a single project, a single task, because a project is made up of um, many tasks, like 10 tasks can be in a project. So the project can be to design a website, and then the task might be to write the content for the website, to design the graphics that they are going to use in the website, to um, do search engine optimization for the website and stuff like that. So you select a single task that you are going to focus on, and then you set your timer and work continuously for just 25 minutes. This is just you just want to keep your head down and focus. So we are not going to be doing it for a very long period of time, especially when you have like a short attention span. You cannot focus on one thing for too long. So you set your timer. You can use free timers like Toggle to achieve this, or Clockify. Set your timer and just start working for 25 minutes. After the first 25 minutes, you take a 5 minute break. That 5 minutes, you can just relax, you can just do something else, go stand up and go and drink a glass of water or something. And then you repeat it 4 times. So after you repeat, like you focus on the task, you take for 25 minutes, then you take a break. When you repeat it for 4 rounds, you can now take a longer break for like 30 minutes, and then you repeat the circle again. So this is the Pomodoro technique, and um it is very useful. It works for a lot of people. It works. So this is something that you can try to just make sure that you put your head down and focus on the tasks that you have at hand. So before I talk about tools of the trade, the tools that every virtual assistant should um, use or should have, I just want to go back and talk about um, the simple tweak that I did to my to-do list. Now, the, the 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 tweak I did to my to-do list was just to break down my tasks. For instance, the task can be something as simple as um, write a blog post. The client wants you to write a blog post. Now, instead of you to write on your to-do list, whether you are using your book, your notepad, and your pen to do your to-do list, or you are using a project management system, instead of you to simply just write blog post or publish a blog post, instead what I do is I'll put step one. That's I'll put one checkbox. That's like what the first task, come up with a topic idea, especially if the clients did not give me a topic. Most times my clients don't give me topics. They just tell me, okay, research what should work well. I'll do the keyword research and everything, and I'll choose what I want to write on and write on it. So the first thing is that I'll do my research. That is one task on its own. Just doing that research is a task on its own. The second thing I'll write is, okay, I'll write my first draft. Then after my first draft, I'll edit it, I'll do SEO, I'll look for the graphic, I'll design the Canva graphics I'm going to use, or I'll look for the stock photos I'm going to use for that blog post. Now I'm going to do all these things. And normally I would have just written publish blog post, but I'm going to write this thing step by step. So just to publish that single blog post, I've already had like 5, 6 things on my to-do list. In my Okay, so just breaking down your to-do list and making it doable, you are going to get that satisfaction that you are getting stuff done. You're actually, when you sit down for 2 hours or for 1 hour or for 3 hours, you can actually tick a lot of things off your to-do list because you have broken down the task. But if it's just one long thing, like one big task, you can sit down for a long period of time, and then at the end of the day, you are not able to take anything off your to-do list.